Let's take a look at the numbers for our starting goalies presented by Honda. Brian Elliott out of Metropolitan Toronto Newmarket. Identical record with his goalie partner Jake Allen. The best goals against average in the league at a 195. Justin Peters, the backup, is the starter today. Third appearance since Thanksgiving, a 9-year pro, a free agent signing last summer. David Backes, a 9-game point string, longest of his career. The Fire with Fire guys are out there. Eric Fair, Brooks Light, Joel Ward, described by Pierre as the best third line in hockey, and they go up against the St. Louis Blues and some of their lightning, including TJ Oshie, 74 in white. Swatted by Backes, back deep to play and yank it back onto him. It is Backes with a pass that ricocheted at center, punched back in by Ward, read and fed back out again to Alex Steen, who blasts it back in, and it's stopped by Peters behind.
Good hit by Orpik on Steen after he dumped the puck in.
Yeah, the two Brookses were starting, and you know when that happens that there'll be some thumping take place. We get an icing call here. And some sanity occurring down near Pierre. The first discussion of the day involving some of the red shirts and some of the stripes.
Well, we mentioned Brooks Orpik in our open. No defenseman in the National Hockey League has more hits than Brooks Orpik, and he will continue to add to his totals here this afternoon in a very physical game, as Pierre alluded to in that interview with Brooks Light.
Street cred is what he brings. Everybody in the Washington Capitals respects the way Brooks Orpik carries himself as a player and as a person.
Alzner played it on to Niskanen, turned over though. Jaden Schwartz able to spin it along. Paul Stastny there, back to Schwartz, trying to fight his way for a centering pass to the front. Alzner won't allow that. Crisply across to Niskanen, then up to Jay Beagle, and Beagle plops it back in and goes burrowing in after it. He's out there with Ovechkin and Backstrom, the front line, and a rocking hit by Ovechkin across the way on Pietrangelo, and a chance in front, paddled several times by Elliott and handballed up high by the defense. Wow. Spun back across, Niskanen a shot, and that deflected down and can be carried back ahead, and the Blues on the attack try to dump it back in. Tarasenko jabbed at it. Schwartz able to step further, backhands one that's tended away by Peters, and a penalty coming up here. The call is a slash.
I think Jay Beagle's going to get it for slashing on Tarasenko right behind the play. Gordon Dwyer caught him. Steve Miller, the linesman's over there taking him over to the bench where he doesn't want to be.
Well, the physical play continues, and Alexander Ovechkin gets in on the forecheck, takes down Alex Pietrangelo, but his job is not done. He gets back up to the front of the net, and the puck finds him, and what a stop there from Elliott off the backhanded chance from Alexander Ovechkin.
That's the fire that Brooks Lake was talking about for Ovechkin, though. He knows he's going to get a steady diet of Bull Mister, and obviously Pietrangelo, he's got to be physical with him.
Our play brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, and a shot is handled by Peters. A good one-time wheeling shot that came from Shattenkirk.
I don't think Barry Trotz is going to like that. He's going to change his forwards up right away. Brooks Lake, Troy Brouwer are going to come on. That was too easy for St. Louis there, and obviously one of the better scorers in the league from the back end, Kevin Shattenkirk. Only Mark Giordano has more points than him right now for the Calgary Flames. But Eddie, as you know, that was not a good face-off situation for Washington.
Not to deflect any attention from this game, actually it's about it. The area where Eddie and I are sitting, populated today by scouts. The trade deadline is March the 2nd, and we have run into more scouts today than we normally would in 2 games. Puck dropped unfairly, and so they'll try it again.
And some tough ones. Jim McKenzie, Dave Brown. No, yeah, and then by the way, the terrific color analyst on the radio side for the St. Louis Blues, Kelly Chase, stopped by. Well, that was an interesting hallway.
5,200 penalty minutes and 3 guys. Across it comes now for a feed that ricocheted off Steen. Steen tried to play it further. The Blues are 2 for their last 22 on the power play. Led onto the back now. Shattenkirk to Steen a drive, and that one blocked back out by Brooks Orpik, limping around a little bit, coming to the bench on a regular change and coasting there. It is Steen with a shot that is cleared wide by Tarasenko. Watched there by Alzner initially, then Shattenkirk tried to play it through, but it skipped up into the stands out of play and no penalty.
Good stick there from Eric Fair, really taking away time and space from that man, Kevin Shattenkirk, as he tried to make a quick play. Tarasenko did a great job of tracking down that puck after they tried to catch the Capitals in a slow change when Orpik went to the bench, but a real good play from Eric Fair to deny that quick developing power play chance from Shattenkirk.
To continue two themes, Tarasenko you saw at the bench. Earlier this year had a Gordie Howe hat trick. That is a goal and an assist and a fight. Around behind now, it comes back up to Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk just delaying and playing it back over to Steen. Then a big drive by Oshie, turned aside by Peters. Oshie yet again. Fires! Save! Peters rebound! Another save! And they score! It's Steen on the third try. A power play goal, 1-0.
Oh, it's just a matter of time. The Blues are able to win some faceoffs, track down loose pucks, and it's pretty simple. A shooting power play. TJ Oshie, shoot first, answer questions second. I mean, it's like a shooting gallery. And watch the retrieval. Quick movement. Oshie's going to get it. Save. Chance for Schwartz, and then Alex Steen has a wide open net.
Well, it's a spacing. It's Shattenkirk keeping the play alive. Shoddy rebound control by Justin Peters, and a nice job by Schwartz taking up space, and Steen just hammers it home.
Now, if you're the Washington Capitals, that you have to certainly make an adjustment and know that if the Blues are going to be a shooting power play, meaning is that as soon as that puck gets back to the point, is you got to take that away. And then the adjustment will be for the Blues is, okay, well, if they're not going to let us shoot from the blue line areas, then we have to move the puck down low. An attack from the goal line out.
The prior two shooters stopped by Peters get the assist, Schwartz and Oshie. Turn to the outside now and pivoting along is Michael Latta. Squib one around in front that ricocheted right through the wickets and could not be handled by Chimera. And so back down it goes, and no icing on the play because Peters came out of the cage. 3:10 gone, first period of play. Sure glad you've joined us here on Sunday afternoon from Washington. The Blues and the Capitals. One other game played between the two this year in St. Louis, won by the Blues 4-1. Drop back for Oshie, fought off by Peters. No, a rebound from Backus, and Oshie is sent to the corner glass, shoved a bit by Brooks Light. Brooks Orpik had that one chopped along by Ward, but it careened on back where Orpik has to come the other way. Forearm shiver on him by Oshie, and Orpik seems stunned for the moment, gets back up to play again, and it's Oshie taking a whack from Orpik.
Olympic teammates last year, not so much now.
Here is Green connecting on for a feed by Ward, brought back on by Fair, played back in deep. Fair able to get there away from Shattenkirk, but then Shattenkirk prevails and is able to nut one along that Ward was able to get and push behind.
Eddie and Doc, aren't both these teams in different conferences? Because you should hear it down here. This has the animosity and the vitriol of a division game. It is unbelievable, the discussion going on between both benches.
Here comes Ovechkin trying to get through. Chased off, though. Follow-up tipped away from Backstrom. Ovechkin hunting down Tarasenko. Then it's fed on through. Oh, and Ovechkin with another hit. Stumbling and then across the way, coasting over to the bench, was Shattenkirk from a prior collision as this comes out for Peters to cover and gives us a chance to rewind some tape.
Go back to a shift a little bit earlier. Look at the change here by the Washington Capitals. And it creates a 2-on-1 chance for the St. Louis Blues. TJ Oshie with a tremendous chance and a good glove save there from Justin Peters.
And there's that hit that Doc alluded to. You see why Brooks Orpik was a little bit wobbly, is hit boards. And then Ovechkin on Jaden Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz kind of has a good balance there, low center of gravity. Eddie, you were talking about that last change. It's because Tom Wilson got hung out by his defenseman, Jack Hill, and he got wrapped big time in the neutral zone.
Wilson with a good memory for that. Here's a chance for Niskanen. Oh, and a glove save made by Elliott. A strong save made by the St. Louis goalkeeper. Jaskin able to bring it ahead for the Blues. Laid it back across, chopped away from Pietrangelo, and then Bouwmeester played it on. So Lindstrom with the stash back in. Peters hands on to Niskanen. Right back up it comes to Brouwer. Tucked it on for a play by Kuznetsov across for Olsner. And then along comes Johansson. Couldn't wend his way on through. Barrett Jackman said no to that. Meanwhile, the battle to a side on the half boards. Around behind Kuznetsov. Checked off well there. Good job done by Ian Cole. Kuznetsov rolled off the hit that was coming from Jackman. Meanwhile, touched on by Cole. And Lindstrom can play it ahead.
Nice pass out of the defensive zone there by Ian Cole to be able to come through the middle of the ice. A couple of times now the Blues defensemen, Pierre, have exited through the middle of the ice. So again, another adjustment that needs to be made by the Capitals, recognizing that the Blues defensemen aren't looking up the boards. They're looking in the middle of the ice to get those clean exits.
Agreed.
Ott Reeves and the newcomer Marcel Gottsch, the front line for the Blues right now, as it's taken back by Michael Latta.
There'll be a lot of noise on this shift. You'll hear glass, you'll hear boards, and you'll hear nasty stuff.
Well, Pierre has a cough switch for the nasty stuff, but we're hearing boards and glass already. Chimera able to bring this back ahead. He's got Ward along with him. Trickled a weak one that is wristed back out again by Bouwmeester. Played back across by Ott, led on to Reeves, and Reeves able to just lay it around the roulette wheel, comes back over to Fair.
Yeah, Chimera's stick actually broke right in his hand there, Doc. That's why he wasn't able to get the puck in cleanly.
Brooks Laich ahead, and his shot is into the glove of Elliott, and play is stopped. 13:26 to go, first period. There is one goal, and it came from the stick of Alex Steen.
Well, there's Kevin Shattenkirk, and he collides with Alexander Ovechkin. Doesn't look like much happened on the contact there, but then he went crashing right into the boards. Couldn't get back to his feet or at least give himself a chance to protect himself, and he is not on the bench for Ken Hitchcock and the St. Louis Blues at this particular time.
And Eddie, one of the guys that's on the bench is Ray Barilli, who's a legendary trainer in the game, the medical trainer for the Blues, so you have to wonder if he doesn't have some extra help back behind the bench.
Good process of deduction, Pierre. A couple of large guys are out. Berglund, 6'3", 217, his second game missed. Laterra, 6'2", 191, some fair height and some fair bulk for the Blues missing today. Punched across by Oshie, carried ahead and wristed in by Steen. Around it swirls, but failing to jab it loose. That time was Cole. Laid back ahead, nice feather move by Laich to give it across and get it back again from Fair. His shot sailed over the glove and cracked off the glass. Steen to play it again.
It'll be Ian Cole taking the place of Kevin Shattenkirk right now. Usually Carl Gunnarsson and Shattenkirk are a tandem. Cole will play, go from the left side to the right side.
Cole returns to Gunnarsson, led one off Backus's stick that kicked off Niskanen, and then controlled neatly by Backstrom. Moving back up with Jay Beagle, picks up Ovechkin. It's scaled right back around. Ovechkin trying to work his way in past Stastny, collides with Gunnarsson, and fed it free to Backstrom. Backstrom to the back. Niskanen a shot, and it sailed wide. Played along by Alzner. Bouncer is nudged right back now for Schwartz to bring ahead. Schwartz working his way up. Another of those Gordie Howe hat trick guys for the Blues. They got a few of them. We just don't think that should be let go. Played on, obviously, off Beagle and back down, and there will be an icing. 7:45 gone first period. The shots are 6-4 Blues, and they lead 1-0. Get the only hockey app with free game highlights and audio, plus live out-of-market games. Download the official app of the NHL. Some shifting there. Beagle goes across. Ovechkin to tend the near side at the hash marks as Backstrom nudges behind, and Alzner is able to tip it further. Ovechkin stood into Pietrangelo, unable to take a Stastny, and so it's Backstrom trying the other way, closed off by Schwartz. Not until he'd gotten it to Niskanen, who lifted it back out. Tucked across to Stastny, then on back to Jackman. The all-time active leader in games played by a Blue. Only Brian Sutter has more. Played right back ahead, and waiting with all of that experience to spin it along again is Jackman. Twisting on back with this Kuznetsov. Moves back up with Brouwer. Pass ricocheted off Johansson and down. Cole able to fire it around, and he was lined up and sent to the boards and glass by Brouwer. Meanwhile, it's carried right back out again. Fire against fire. There's been several incidents of that already. All of it legal in terms of crunching the boards. Only one turned out to be a slash by Jay Beagle. Jammed on around again and back up to Jack Hill, and rammed hard there by Reeves, and that's going to cost.
They're going to call interference, but he left his feet too, and I think the referee, Gord Dwyer, got a little bit of help from the Washington Capitals bench, Eddie and Doc, because they were on that when Reeves left his feet. Ryan Reeves has been a scoring machine of late. 2 goals in his last 2 games. You don't see his feet leave from Matt Ettingel on Jack Hillen, but the Capitals bench definitely helped the officials pay attention to that high-hard hit.
Well, unfortunately for Ryan Reaves is that he was going to make that hit, but the puck took a funny bounce off the boards. And he was timing that it was going to end up going to the Capital forward that was in on the forecheck, and Reaves went in, and that's why the interference call was made.
Here in Washington, the Capitals took the role of paid lobbyists, and they got it done. Reaves an interference wrap at 8:51. Backstrom getting set on this power play that at home in the last 10 games is 25%, 8 out of 32. Love the match. Carried ahead now and dragged on by Backstrom. Flipped across to Johansson. Then Backstrom. Then on back out of Green. And his shot was wide. Ovechkin couldn't play it on the bounce in the bad angle. Brouwer fired it behind. It went away from Backstrom. Then along for the take and the twist on back from Johansson to Green. Gives it back to Johansson again. Inside the box is Brouwer. Pulling to the outside is Backstrom, and he takes it. Then back to Green again. Ovechkin has shot. It's tipped wide by Pietrangelo. Fed back over to Backstrom. Given on back. Green moves in. Ovechkin has shot. He scores!
As we said on the first St. Louis Blue power play and eventual goal, the same for the Capitals. It was just a matter of time. Great puck movement. Backstrom to Green to Ovechkin, who had a couple of good looks from that same spot.
Everything goes through Nick Backstrom on this real lethal Washington Capitals power play. Eddie just talked about Backstrom getting it back to Green, and then Green over to Ovechkin, and it's hammer time.
Well, he has reached quite a group of people, hasn't he? First 10 years of your NHL career, 30 each year. Mike Gardner, Wayne Gretzky, Mike Bossy, Jari Kurri, and consider that Ovechkin had only half a season to get that many a couple of years ago. So now we are even. Both teams have a minor. A power play goal, the 14th of the year for Ovechkin out of his total of 30. Around it comes, Brouwer through the legs, and it's wheeled just wide by Stastny. Schwartz dropped it back, tapped along by Alzner, jabbed on back to center, and Gunnarsson hands it across. Still keeping an eye out for the return of Shattenkirk, but nothing just yet. Mike Green passed the puck to Ovechkin, and so he gets the primary assist. And Nicholas Backstrom passed it to Green, so he gets the secondary. As Brooks Laich in this 1-1 tie first period moves right ahead, and it was knocked away in a good reach there. So now Hillen connects across as more Capitals spill over the boards in a shift change. Joel Ward trying to outduel Bouwmeester, cannot do it just yet. Bouwmeester, who made that strong play just a moment ago near his goaltender, sees this three-a-side, a scrum along, and it hopped on over to Reaves. Reaves lobbed it to the boards, burrowed his way in hoping to get it, but it's Green turning it along there, and up the boards for a pass by Chimera that escapes to the Washington bench area. Rattled on around by Gunnarsson. Hit off the skate of Chimera, but then played it with his stick ahead, swung on back deeper, unable to work his way by that time was Tom Wilson. Driving on ahead is David Backes. Here's Backes with a shot, and that one got the glass. Blocked away and then thrown right back across to Steen. With Backes near the front, it comes to the back. Here's Cole, a shot. Save Peters. Rebound. They poke away at it while falling. Backes got help. It is Steen again. Drifting and handing it on back to Cole again. Faked the shot, got it to Gunnarsson, a shot, and that blocked off by Peters. Around behind it's Oshie. Tried to tuck it in, could not. Wilson stalemates Oshie. Coming by to take it in, lifted is Carlson. Nicely kept, though. Cole spun it in front. That went off Backes' stick. A long shift for the Blues. Much of it on the attack, however. Carlson stepping ahead with under 8 minutes to go. A delayed penalty call is coming up against the Blues. Thrown to the front, it caromed across. Johansson to Ovechkin, and a save made by Elliott. Fire wagon hockey here in the first period in the nation's capital. Both teams have struck once. For Ovechkin, it's number 30 of the year.
The physical start you wanted to see from your group?
Well, obviously we don't want to take a penalty right off the bat, you know, coming back from back-to-back here, so good response by us. Obviously they're coming out hard, a real physical game on both sides. You got some alpha males out there, on both teams, and that's why they're tough to play against.
Coach, does your approach have to change at all because they're down to 5 defensemen due to the injury to Shattenkirk?
No, I think we just got to play our game, but we just got to make sure that we're managing the puck. These guys are so good. You have to be detailed. If you're not detailed in your game, the St. Louis Blues are going to make you pay. Thank you very much, Coach.
One of the 5 remaining defensemen for the Blues is in the penalty box now, so 4 to go for them right now in killing this off. Played to the outside by the Caps and held there by Backstrom. That one is cut, and it might be a 2-on-1. Backstrom hustling to get back and take care of the winger Ott as Gotch tries to burrow through and then dumped it around behind. Poked away from Ott's reach by Backstrom, and so the Caps can fly back out. Ovechkin able to carry this one ahead. Flings one wide, hoping to get a bounce that will favor him. It does with Johansson to Backstrom to Green. Backstrom just drifting on in, shooting one, save made by Elliott, cleared back down the ice in a good play on the bounce by Pietrangelo.
We're having a lot of fun down here, Doc and Eddie.
It is Alpha Males. This
Oh,
game is sponsored by Alpha Males. Toe Break, Eddie Shore, Dave Brown, Jim McKenzie, and Backstrom connects across to Johansson. Then Backstrom, then on back for Ovechkin to settle it down. He wanted a one-timer, but that would have been tough. It's Green to Ovechkin, across to Backstrom in front, and they jam away at it. Beg your pardon, Johansson with it there, and Johansson moving on back. Pulls away from Backus, deals it back to Backstrom. It is Troy Brouwer with a shot that shanked to the corner. Ovechkin there. Seems like the Blues have reacted a little bit to that most recent power play.
A couple of real good defensive plays, good sticks. I mean, a couple of great looks by the Capitals. I mean, they moved this puck around beautifully. Elliott had to make one really good stop, but that's what it's all about. Adjustments, game within the game.
Here is Ott bringing it ahead, tucking a pass across that will be settled down, played back in by Marcel Gotch, who was rolled by Niskanen. 2 seconds and 1, and Cole is out of the box. Blues have killed 1 out of the 2 in a 1-1 tie with a little over 5.5 to go in the first period. Pietrangelo on the pass from Bouwmeester, gives it right back to him again, looks for an opening. Tarasenko's the guy. Good choice. Tarasenko bringing it ahead, crisscrossing with Schwartz, ran into traffic. It's nudged free by Brooks Laich, regathered by Tarasenko, bounced down and carried on now by Latta. Here's Latta feeding it across to several people in particular, and it's Gunnarsson one-handing it on across for the play by Schwartz, over to Stastny in front. Oh, what a combination. Tarasenko was gliding to the net. Peters shut it off, and play is halted. 5:03 to go, first period. 16 shots, 2 goals, 1 each here in Washington.
The Capitals power play. I talked about the good plays by the St. Louis Blues. Watch a play here by Marcel Gotch. He gets in this passing lane and just takes away the opportunity from Backstrom, looking back door to the opposite side. Outstanding positioning there from the newly acquired Marcel Gotch from the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Real useful player. Played 2 years for Barry Trotz, the coach of the Capitals in Nashville. Barry can't say enough good things about him.
Fed on a cross, and this one collared and flung right back out again.
Doc and Eddie, we were talking about Ray Barilli, the great trainer of the Blues, being on the bench after the Shattenkirk injury. He's no longer. I just came back on the bench now. He was gone during that last TV timeout.
Oh, we'll keep an eye out, if nothing else, at the start of the second. Here's a strong shot through a screen by Jaskin. That is handled by Peters. A little under 4.5 to go as this is sped back in past Brouwer. Whips one around near Bouwmeester. Touched it right through Jaskin as far as center. Joel Ward arrives, and the Blues think there might have been too many men.
Oh, they were letting Steve Miller, the linesman, know that too.
Back in, this goes off Brooks Laich. He's able to one-hand it around behind. Ward could not reach that one. Protected pretty well by Steen, and dropped back, and Bouwmeester is pursued by Laich and crunched to the boards. So Brooks Orpik back to play this. Native of San Francisco. Sees this one taken away, though. Worked around and turning with it is Steen, the scorer of the St. Louis goal here. Puck comes to the back, and it's Cole feeding it on a cross. Jackman with a shot that's blocked up high, and everyone looking as it popped out of play. Inside the glass, presented by Progressive, here's Pierre.
It's appropriate that it's Super Bowl Sunday based on the pack that you're about to see. It's all about hitting, and it's all about clean, hard hitting. At the point of attack, good hit by Brooks Orpik, Alexander Ovechkin, and now it's Pietrangelo. Here's another clean, hard hit on TJ Oshie. Another one on Brooks Orpik from Oshie, just paying him back. Ovechkin in the neutral zone on Jaden Schwartz. It's equal opportunity hitting for everybody on both sides. Super Bowl Sunday.
They've come out with a high collision game, haven't they? Punched around beside to Alzner and then along for Ovechkin. And he has been one of the big colliders as well as the scorer of a goal. Niskanen shot sizzled wide. Came along for Tarasenko, took the hit, tipped it, but it wouldn't go out. Backstrom across to Niskanen and chopped back in. And Jay Beagle able to escape to the corner after this one. Run into yet again, and it's punched across for Schwartz to lob ahead to Tarasenko, trying to work his way in, no luck. Alzner tipped it across. Two of the better defensive teams in the league. The Blues ranked 6th out of 30. The Capitals 9th. Beagle able to flop one in front that is blocked away. Good job done there, and a very furious one by Elliott. As one goal has been scored by each side. Elliott with not much of a chance. Not really a whole lot of a chance for Peters because he had already stopped two before the third one went in. Good collision between Reeves and Hillen. Spun right off of Peters, who blocked it away. Gotch stepped to get that one, threw it off the outside of the cage, directed on to Hillen, and then flopped too far for Wilson. 2.5 to go. Collision there between Ott and Latta. They don't like one another, and they are known for getting too close to Pierre.
Carry over. They still want to go. But they were talking during the TV timeout.
Well, they got a chance to get close enough there, and the linesman stepped in between. Meanwhile, at the ranch, this one is sent back along now for the take by Kuznetsov. Pass block, Backus flips, jabbed on out to center.
Here we got another one, Reeves and Chimera, and Wilson comes over, so it's going to carry over.
A feed off the stick of Johansson, back to Brooks Orpik, fires one that's a shot pass, retrieved by Kuznetsov. Wheels to the outside, tried to get to the front, no luck, and Backus tucks it on over for Steen, moving up with Oshie. Brooks Orpik takes over there. Ryan Reeves and Tom Wilson in the game in St. Louis did have coincidental majors for fighting. Trickled on ahead now, and getting it as Carlson laid on back. Eric Fair pushed it right back in again. Blocked off a bit by Cole, so it can be taken by Jaden Schwartz. Smoked out with a forecheck of Fair. Gave it over to Gunnarsson. Connects back ahead for the walk-on by Tarasenko. Oh, and he got a strong shot through, even though it looked like he'd been offended away from that by Alzner.
There's a terrific release that we talked about in the open back from Vladimir Tarasenko. Always a threat when he has that puck in the shooting position as he enters the offensive zone.
Eddie Ovechkin, Phil Kessel, Tarasenko, very similar in terms of how they release the puck. I totally agree with you. And the biggest thing, Ovechkin obviously a right-hand shot, Tarasenko a left. When you see their body types, they're virtually similar. And there's Jaden Schwartz with a smart play that led to Tarasenko's opportunity.
Backstrom for the neutralized faceoff that is one on back. Niskanen gives it across to Alzner and then threw off of Ovechkin and down. Finally, Elliott can play because it's inside the trapezoid, but it comes right back near him again. Battling his Beagle, can't get a shot away. And so ahead rushing with it is Ott. Pugnacious winger threw this in, went to get it. Balls Niskanen along the way. Meanwhile, the puck is played back out to center and more collisions.
Ken Hitchcock says he's really got to work hard this afternoon on his bench management. He's playing his fourth line a lot.
Well, both of these coaches have been at it a long time. Both of them have won championships at various levels. And both of them don't shun away from a physical battle. There's Niskanen there. To a side continue the battle. And along it is taken and twisted in front by Steen. Read by Alzner, rattled on around, and to settle it down is Ward. And the horn sounds, and that's one of them. 13 shots to 8 Blues, 1-1 at the end of one. Stay tuned for the Lexus Intermission Report. Catherine Tappan, Mike Milbury, Keith Jones from Super Bowl Central in Arizona. The Caps playing a physical game, I guess. Galchenyuk powering the Montreal Canadiens, who have won 5 in a row. Steen from Schwartz and Oshie. Ovechkin from Green and Backstrom. Both of them were goals on the power play. And it's 1-1 after one. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. And by H&R Block. Get your billions back, America. Last Sunday, we were outside of Nationwide Arena, and we could probably hear the cannon outside. This cannon is a replica of a Civil War cannon. They touch it off whenever there's a goal. That is 1/16 of a charge. Ken Hitchcock was the coach of the Blue Jackets at the time they got the cannon. He is a Civil War authority. He said the first time that they touched it off, he was in his office, they used a half charge. People came running from their offices wondering what was happening. He has observed and been a part of recreations in places like Antietam and Gettysburg when 50 or 60 cannon are going off at once. So I guess we shouldn't complain about last Sunday.
Sometimes it sounds like when Hitchcock's getting mad at his players.
Well, he will not, unfortunately, have Kevin Shattenkirk. Lower body injury won't return to the game as this fair shot is handled by Elliott early in the second.
And they're also down some other players. No Patrick Berglund, no Yuri Laterra. Both of them got hurt against Nashville in their 5-4 shootout win. That man has been playing a lot of minutes ever since he came back from injury, and I think that's one of the more efficient players in the league right there, Eddie, Jaden Schwartz.
Really becoming a difference maker, another offensive difference maker for the terrific general manager of the Blues, Doug Armstrong, and the entire roster for the Blues.
Oh, a stick up high, and that'll cost. They're checking on him now to see if it's 2 or 4.
It's going to be on Jay Beagle for reaching in. '83 in red goes to reach up and catches Paul Stastny right up under the shield, and Beagle's in the box.
Second stick violation for Jay Beagle in this game.
So the power play for the Blues, they are 1 for the prior 2. Beagle was in the doghouse at the time that they scored the first goal. I don't know, it's too obvious, and Jay's such a good guy and a good sport about all this. I'll leave it behind now. This is settled down behind for the tap by Elliott, and Steen has it. He really is a good sport about this. They've actually played videos about dogs some of the times when he's been playing. And here is Chimera clearing it back down and wide of the cage.
And he talked about adjustments St. Louis has to make on their penalty kill. We saw it. I think Washington has to make some adjustments too, and I think we're starting to see it now, taking away more space in the neutral zone.
Angled around behind, Tarasenko allowed it to go to Backus, and Backus is able to hold. He's got Tarasenko nearby, and that's where he'll go with it. And then back to Steen and across the opposite side for a shot that ricocheted off someone and wide. Onto the back now, it came on to Steen again. It is Tarasenko with a shot, and that one blocked down nicely by Carlson, and then fidgeted ahead for the carry back up by Ward.
Nice job there by John Carlson. That shot block.
There's the Orpek effect too, don't you think, Eddie? Brooks Orpek, his partner, teach him a lot about how to play in his own zone.
Yeah, I think what it's done as well, Pierre, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago when we were here in Washington, is all of a sudden you're slotting Alzner and Carlson in spots where they're probably better suited when you bring in guys like Orpik and Niskanen, and you bring that winning pedigree as well from Brooks Orpik, and it's made the Capitals much more complete, a lot more depth on their back end, and that was a point of emphasis from communicating with general manager Brian McClellan.
Oshie with a nice little pass combination from Steen, then guides it ahead. Bouwmeester gains the zone, then along to Oshie. Finesses in front. Oh, and Stastny couldn't get it home. And another shot is grabbed and then paddled away confidently by Peters from Steen. So it's Steen again, and that one cut and thrown right back down the ice by Niskanen.
Shows you how much St. Louis misses Shattenkirk on the power play, though. They really need that decision-making on the back end. It's not nearly as efficient when they don't have Shattenkirk.
I almost had him on the power play a moment ago. It was 42 Backus, not 22 Shattenkirk. We are viewing this from the Washington Monument today. Brought back in and thrown wide by Reeves, and then Ott trying to work his way in, checked off by Niskanen. tipped along further to the back, and a drive by Cole is geared away by Peters.
I think he was hoping for a tip there. He's waiting for big Ryan Reeves to get to the front of net. Another good opportunity there from Gotch as he found that loose puck to the left of Peters.
Backup goaltenders have always said how hard it is to come right in cold in a game. But imagine knowing that you're the starter and having only made 2 appearances since Thanksgiving. And he's been just fine. Thrown along now to Niskanen, who steps ahead near Gunnarsson, dropped it back in, and Brouwer will go in after it. Contest with Gunnarsson, pushed it on along for a further play by Kuznetsov. Turned and coughed it up. 3 3/4 gone here in the second period. Teams are at full strength. Good rocking hit on Lindstrom that time by Green, and Green is able to walk away and hand it on to Alzner. Slid it ahead where Brouwer could tuck it across, and it shanked back in, and skating it down is Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov given a bit of a shove by Pietrangelo. Peels away. Fans had their arms up. Referees did not. This one is cut back along and can be walked back up to center and played back in by Ty Ratty. Second game this season for him.
What a scorer he was with the Portland Winterhawks in Major Junior Hockey in Canada. Outstanding scorer.
Kuznetsov across, drifting, deflected wide.
What a play. Great patience.
Backus got in the way of that one. It is cleared back down, and it will go for an icing.
Boy, we've seen Kuznetsov make some real heady plays, and to have the ability to be able to hold on to this puck and just wait everybody off. Green to Kuznetsov. Everybody would shoot it right here. Shoot it again. No, I'm just going to keep going all the way over. Now, granted, he doesn't put the puck in the back of the net, but the ability to be able to make plays in small areas and have the ability to hold on and wait and try to draw people out of position. You see the skill level there of Kuznetsov.
Carlson and Backus with quite a skating battle, didn't they? This one is pitched on out to center and flops over near Bomeister. Wedged back in by Fair. Delayed offside is wiped as the forechecker is light. Oshie tucked it across, almost got himself into some trouble, but now Ian Cole gains the zone and rolls it back in. So then Backus could not play that one. It is Joel Ward, the other 42, who can. And he is able to step right in and let it go. Getting a piece of it was Elliott. Not often a guy comes off the wing and lets a shot go since Bobby Hull retired. Controlled right back ahead and then lost momentarily. Hard work done by David Backus there, and this one is put up high in a heavy collision, and there'll be more coming from this.
Both referees put their hands up at the same time. Alzner got dinged up by Backus.
Well, David Backus drills Carl Alzner from behind. No chance for him to protect himself. As Pierre made mention, both officials with their arms up. Easy call to make. Dangerous hit there from Backus on Alzner.
Hey, I got to ask you, we both travel around the league like Doc does. I haven't seen this much vitriol between two teams that are on different sides of the ledger talking about East and West in a long time. And this has started right from the beginning of the game.
Maybe it goes back to their first meeting a little bit earlier in the year, Pierre, where we got a chance to visit with Barry Trotz, just talking about the last game that Capitals and Blues took. And Backus is making his way to the bench and into the locker room.
5 in game. An injury sustained by Alzner. And the Blues captain has departed.
There's the push, and then there you see the head and the helmet driven right into the glass, and some repairs going on for Alzner. And there you see Barrett Jackman.
Francois St. Laurent came right over to Ken Hitchcock, gave him about 35 seconds of why Backus is no longer in the game. Hitchcock not once said a word. I think he knows that was right on the edge for his star center iceman and captain.
Major penalty power play coming up for the Capitals in a 1-1 tie. Gotch to take the draw with Brouwer. Green shuttles it over. Backstrom has it there. Opposite circle is where they like to set up Ovechkin. Dealt back in deep and working along now is Johansson. Tucked it onto Backstrom for Ovechkin. Tipped on back to it. Then across to Green once more. Delayed and then was able to give it across for the feed in by Johansson to Backstrom again. The decoy at that point was Brouwer. Johansson tried to feed to him. It's tipped on by Pietrangelo to Ovechkin, and Ovechkin shoots one, and that blocked wide, and then fanning on the rebound of the bouncing puck was Johansson.
A wide open net if he could make any contact.
Well said.
This is Backstrom here. Looks toward Brouwer, then toward Ovechkin. Stick handles and gives back to Green, who lost it out to center. And so off the casual play, he will drop back further. The first minute has expired on the major penalty power play, shotless. Backstrom's pass brushed down, and Ott could not step ahead.
A couple of good sticks in the defensive zone so far for the Blues.
Steve Ott's had a real good game so far.
This type of game, for sure.
Absolutely agree. And he's loving it, too. He's basically doing play-by-play down here, Doc. You want your job.
That's fine. As a youth in school, verbal skills, he got a 10. Brought back ahead now and dropped off, or an A+, I guess. I'm not sure how they did it. Kuznetsov, given a pretty good shove there, is able to pirouette away, but could not swagger through all of them. And here comes Jackman, giving on over to Stastny, and Stastny a shot, and Peters had it and then got some help from Green. Racing back head with it is Kuznetsov, tipped off his stick. Joel Ward burrowed his way in, and it kicked onto the back where it can be played by Niskanen. Left it on for the pass that is cut and started back out by Gotch. The expectations, as is normal in D.C., are high.
Pretty good pickup for St. Louis. Marcel Gotch showing it right now. Traded from Pittsburgh to St. Louis for Maxime Lapierre.
On this long power play, Peters with one save, Elliott with none. Dropped on back, and it's Carlson leading it ahead. Tucked on over now for Backstrom, has Brouwer nearby. Gives it on to Niskanen and then to Carlson. Johansson just looking. No Ovechkin right now. Brouwer's shot is answered by Elliott. Niskanen wiped out and played it along. Drawn free now by Pietrangelo. It popped off him out in front. Not makes them chase it again. With 2.25 to go on the 5-minute major power play.
We're coming up to 3 straight minutes on this power play without a stoppage.
One shot on goal for the Capitals on this. Turning along with it is Johansson. Gave it on to Backstrom. Then Johansson yet again. Johansson around behind took a little lumber there. And it is cleared along by Jackman, but kept alive there by Green and played to Backstrom yet again. They do have Ovechkin at the opposite circle now. And the pass was where he had been. And so again, they will chase it down, and the fans are upset.
For the second time now, the Capitals have had it set up to the left of Brian Elliott, and they've looked to pass both times instead of just taking the puck to the net. Being predictable, they're trying to force the puck to Alexander Ovechkin.
Laich tried to filter it on through. It's booted around now and flexed by Laich and lifted back out by Tarasenko, and Ovechkin will hustle back.
Good battle there by Tarasenko to be able to stick handle his way out of that, off those boards and clear it down.
A shot on goal by both teams on this long power play.
What a game for Steve Ott. Another great play in the neutral zone.
Carried in by Laich, knocked away from him by Bouwmeester. Coming by Kuznetsov, ladled along by Ott.
Boy, Ott with a forearm shiver right to the chops of Kuznetsov.
An aggressive game as this one kicked through for Gotch to clear back down.
Fire with fire, right, Doc? That was Brooks Laic's message.
Both teams bought into it. That's why this has been a snarly game. 40 to go on the major penalty power play. The Alzner stitches might be in vain here. Along this comes and can be tangled up for a moment by Gunnarsson. Shoves a man down, and along it can be played further and battled for by Jaden Schwartz, then popped on now for Ward. Ward wanted to get it further, and Gunnarsson in the way. Ward reversed it along, and it is punched to the back for Green. Ovechkin a shot, and a save, popped up high and grabbed by Elliott with 13 left to go on the long power play.
First stoppage in this 5-minute major. Talk about the play that the Capitals are trying to run. They move the puck here, and watch all this space here that Nicholas Backstrom has, but what does he try to do? He tries to pass this puck out. Look at all that room there. Just take the puck to the net. If you take the puck to the net, you're going to draw attention to you. And then the next time you run that play, they'll guard you a little bit tighter, and then that seam will open up to the pass to Ovechkin on the weak side of the back door. So those are adjustments that need to be made by the players in-game to recognize where the open ice is. And for the Capitals, just an awful power play. But in saying that, they never really had a chance to regroup, Doc, because there was no stoppage at all through that first, 4 minutes and 47 seconds of the power play.
Tom Wilson dropped it along. Trying to reboot the snarl of this game. Wilson moves in. Got away from Pietrangelo. Tried to center, but it popped up high. Niskanen kept it alive. Threw it in front. Deflected into Elliott, who blocked it and covered it. And play halted. Penalty box is empty. 9:12 to go, second period. After all that battling, still tied. Kraft is looking for the most passionate hockey community in America. Nominate your community for a chance to host an NHL preseason game, plus $150,000 in arena upgrades. Nominations now open. Kraft Hockeyville for the love of hockey.
Another vote for New Canaan, Doc, please. Eddie, stuff the ballot box.
Pierre, this is not Latvia.
Gergensen, come on.
Along with this now, we've got your vote registered. On now, it is Hillen firing one that went wide. Across now to Green. Green dancing free around behind. Away from Cole. Jackman blocked that one, but it's followed up and given on back to Green.
Well, good response here by the Capitals after a not-so-good power play. 5-minute major. Come back with a good chance there right before that TV timeout.
Yeah, the rough and tumble guys out there now. Chimera and Latta and Wilson. Ahead with this now is Reeves. He's got out and fired one that was blocked off by Peters.
Well, Mike Green was slow to get back into play because he was in a corner. He had lost his glove and he went back for it. And there was a clear-cut 2-on-1 for the Blues. Now they got a 3-on-2.
Steen gave it on to Tarasenko. Quickly in front for Steen. Oh, the save rebound. They score! It is Steen who got the first one, who gets the second one. And again, Peters made some stops, but was alone and powerless to help.
What a display of skill, Eddie, by the St. Louis Blues.
Well, we talked about the change, Pierre. I mean, look what's going on over in this area of the ice. And the quick outlet. About a 125-foot pass to Vladimir Tarasenko up the ice. He wanted it, but Steen got it. And then look at his puck movement. No hesitation at all. Great save from Peters, and Alex Steen stays with it for his second of the afternoon.
Last year he had 33 goals, and everybody thought it would be an anomaly. It's not. This is just how good Alex Steen is, and I like Eddie's point the best right there. Steen doesn't keep skating. He stops in front of the net after he shoots the puck.
With his role on this team, and how important he is, for anybody to think that it was just an accident that Alex Steen would have one of those type of years, obviously doesn't know Alex Steen and doesn't follow the Blues, because he's such an important part in everything that they do.
Backstrom flipped one in front. Beagle a try. Ovechkin with one. Where is it? It's underneath the leg of Elliott. Steen is second of the day, 17th of the year from Oshie and Tarasenko. 2-1 the visitors.
Bad blood between your team and their team?
I think it's the coaches. We like each other, but we hate each other. I hated Nashville going into that Coliseum, and we just have fun with it. But both teams are, they compete really hard. Their team is really set up as a deep team.
No Shattenkirk, no Backus. How does that affect how you approach the rest of the game?
Oh, we're really in scramble mode. We got no Bergie and we got no Laterra, so we're just mix and match, and whatever looks good, I keep playing.
Thanks very much, Ken.
Thanks.
And they are ahead 2-1 on 2 Alex Steen goals. Pivoting off now is Backstrom. Moving to the outside, got it back, drive by Niskanen and went wide. Rebound is gathered in by Ovechkin. Under 7.5 to go. His shot was off Gotch. Nicely filtered away, though, and Beagle right out in front. Can't shove it home. Tried twice, and both times Elliott got it. Right ahead as far as Reeves at center, and then back in. Credit where it's due. I beg your pardon. I thought it was Beagle, but it was Tom Wilson. Here's repeated tries by Ovechkin. And then it is held by Elliott again.
Wilson looking for Steve Ott, who's mixing it up with Nicholas Backstrom. A subtle little adjustment there from Barry Trotz, the head coach of the Capitals, by moving 43 into the spot of 83 and creating a couple of really good looks in tight on Brian Elliott. Oh, the forecheck by Alexander Ovechkin. Gets this puck, takes it right to the net. Good stop, not once but twice by Brian Elliott. And Tom Wilson coming through the middle of the ice looking for a second chance, or excuse me, a third chance opportunity.
You know, Doc and Eddie, I think one of the more improved goalies in the NHL is Brian Elliott because of what Eddie just showed, his rebound control. When he was in Ottawa, he was spitting out pucks all over the place into high-quality scoring areas. He made it a very hard game on his defense. The young man out of the University of Wisconsin's come here to St. Louis. He's done a great job reeling it in, and his rebound control has improved so much over the last couple of years.
His father, Bill, was the director of the comedy in Canada, The Red Green Show, and Brian had a job as an extra hitting golf balls in the background of one sequence. Guess he's got the Screen Actors Guild card for that. Meanwhile, pivoting with this is Cole, dropping it back along where it can be carried by Tarasenko and pushed on through TJ Oshie. Fed to the front, and that ricocheted wide of Peters in the cage. Oshie trying to turn with it there. Swept one that came all the way to the back, and a shot answered by Peters with that pad yet again. Spinning one, and into the glove of Peters. That shot by Steen in his bid for a hat trick, and there may be a mid for more here.
Oshie was getting after it with Brooks Orpik, and then Eric Fair jumped in on TJ Oshie. And the boys up at Izzy's in War Road, Minnesota, they're going to say not so fast on our friend Oshie. They were getting after him pretty good.
This all started, Brooks Orpik gave a shot to Vladimir Tarasenko right before this gathering to the left of Justin Peters. Ian Cole's had a couple of good looks. He's the one that shoots that puck from the back end, and now it's just an absolute mad scramble. Alex Steen settles that puck down. Good save from Peters, and there you see the hacking and whacking from Orpik and Oshie, and then Fair comes in, and all 10 players on the ice come together.
A team toughness, Wolfpack mentality for both teams. Washington wants to be a better playoff team. St. Louis wants to have success in the first round of the playoffs, and they're going to push back. By the way, Doc and Eddie, you know, TJ Oshie, the magical moment in Sochi, utilizing his stick and his brains. He used his stick in Tier 2. Survival of the fittest. You'll see Oshie going against Orpik.
There you saw the cross-check by Orpik on Tarasenko. You go to the front of the net, you're gonna pay a price this afternoon. It started from the first shift of the game. And Ken Hitchcock told Pierre, mix it and match it right now. You only got 5 defensemen and you only got 11 forwards, so not much complaining coming from the hockey dads on this trip about ice time today.
How about his anger directed at Nashville? It's a great place. They're going to host the All-Star game next year. It's a friendly place, Nashville.
Unless you're the guy that's paid to get 2 points out of there as the visiting team. Carried ahead now by Schwartz, left behind, follow up, and a shot by Pietrangelo went off of Peters. Swung back along by Schwartz, and around it comes for Pietrangelo again. This one ladled along by Carlson and can be taken back up by Green, and Green just delays, shuffles it across. Carlson can grab it, but can't get through Stastny. Under 6 minutes to go, second period. Steen with goals sandwiched around one by Ovechkin. Both teams with a power play goal. No room there because of Lindstrom getting in the way. Joachim Lindstrom sees this played back along now for a whip back into Ovechkin. Shoot, score!
Steen's got 2, Ovechkin's got 2. 4-on-4 hockey. puck management. The turnover forced by Ovechkin, the keep in by Backstrom. Elliott loses his angle just a little, and he beats him to the far side.
The awareness of Nick Backstrom is spectacular right there. He could hear Ovechkin screaming, but look how direct and accurate that pass is to Ovechkin, who takes that rolling puck and snaps it home. Hitchcock called it. We need to manage the puck. They didn't right there.
Ovechkin charging after this one. He's got it again, and a save made by Elliott. Backstrom, the lone assist on the second goal by Ovechkin today, the 31st of the year. He leads the league in that department, and a wrister is deflected and skittered just wide. In trouble. Ovechkin can jam it along again. Niskanen taking over there. Walks it across and throws it on through Backstrom, and it careened behind. Ovechkin comes to the bench for a change with under 5 minutes to go here in the second. 17 seconds still left on the coincidental minor penalties as Ott throws it in and goes in after it and shoves with Carlson. This is fair. Brooks Laich charges ahead on Gunnarsson. Laich forced around behind, and a good play by Gunnarsson, and help came. This is Steen delaying and then throwing one that ricocheted off Jackman to center. Carlson comes by, able to escape Jackman's reach. Got it along for a shot by Laich that is held by Elliott.
Eddie, Alexander Ovechkin's a man possessed here this afternoon.
He has gotten 2. His team has 2, but so does the opposition.
Look at that last goal by Alexander Ovechkin. First thing, look at that puck. The puck is on edge. When he releases it, stop it right here. Here comes the stick of Jay Bouwmeester. Watch this puck ramp up off the stick, change direction, and beat Brian Elliott to the far side. But again, the changing of the angle by Ovechkin. Elliott's lining up with the shot. Now once he pulled the puck into his body, he changed the angle a little bit. So Elliott just looked like he moved a little bit to his right. But no question, the change and the ramp effect off the stick of Bouwmeester helped tie this game up at 2 for the Caps.
Off the referee. Stastny flips one. Oh, and Schwartz tried to battle his way to the front. Oh, and a great save by Peters, and another. They score! What a weird set of bounces. Jaskin has broken the tie, 3-2 with 4:03 to go.
Second chance opportunity. And let's not forget that that puck hit the official as it was shot in. So the Capitals were going back all the way to the goal line, and that helped the St. Louis Blues get to that puck. And then Jaskin with a second chance opportunity. It goes off the skate, the backside of Troy Brouwer, and goes right back to Jaskin after that first chance.
The official was Gord Dwyer. Dmitry Jaskin, his last year junior in Moncton, had 99 points. He's a scoring phenom. Born in Russia in the city of Omsk. Grew up in the Czech Republic. And he's one of those guys that I know can hit chest really, really high on offensively.
Based on what he told you, I think the guy's going to play a little more here in the third period. That is still 3:54 ahead. It is 3-2 in favor of the Blues. They've had 3 one-goal leads today. Orpik blocks the pass from Pietrangelo, then forced it along. Pietrangelo takes it, shoots one, waffle boarded away by Peters. Tucked back out again by Ward, swung right back in again and out of play. Take a look at what's ahead. You're on.
Well, Tuesday, the Blackhawks will visit the Wild on NBCSN. Wednesday night rivalry, the Bruins will take on the New York Rangers. And then on Thursday night, the Red Wings and the Avalanche.
Mike, Catherine, and Keith were talking about Boston. They're starting to get it going, and there's Marty Brodeur.
The new assistant to the general manager. Saw him before the game, and he said he would be going back to New Jersey. They're having a reunion of the 1995 Stanley Cup Devils, and he will be going back for that, seeing Stephane Richer and Neil Broughton and all the guys that won the championship that year. He had a little to do with it. That'll be on March the 8th when they're playing a late afternoon Sunday game against Philadelphia. Along to get this is Green.
Sorry, Doc, another big hit behind the plate. Tom Wilson and Jay Bouwmeester.
It's not a lot of luck for Tom Wilson here on the Blues bench, I can tell you that.
Fortunately, this is after Christmas, so won't be any cards necessary. Brought back, and certainly not for Valentine. Given across for the punch there by Carlson. Fed right back to him.
Might have been asking him for a Super Bowl pick, maybe.
Along now, it is Jackman stepping in the way. Jackman guided it across, and Ott is able to sweep by with it. Jammed it to the back. Jackman's shot is kicked aside by Orpik and can be played further. Marcel Gotch. Orpik going to work on him. Still working, but so also is Gotch. Slides around behind. Orpik rammed into Reeves. Puck to the back for a drive, and that deflected wide.
Another chance for Ian Cole.
Cole takes this one and drops it back in, and it's Carlson going to get it. There will be a penalty. Oh, and then a hit on Carlson by Reeves.
Yeah, the penalty's going to be on Alexander Ovechkin. The puck went back to Ian Cole, and Ovechkin just, I don't know if he was making a flyby or not, but he just takes out the legs of Ian Cole, takes the shot, and then right there, that's just not a good penalty at all. Trying to get away with tripping up the Blues defenseman, and now a huge power play chance for the Blues late in the second.
No Berglund, no Laterra today. No Shattenkirk, no Backus. One injured, one penalized with an ejection. And the Blues roll right along and continue to break ties.
Shattenkirk injured, and Backus with the hit from behind on Karl Alzner.
1 for 2 on their power play. 6 shots out of the total of 28 they've taken. The Blues have been on the advantage. And so it's Schwartz. Bringing it ahead, getting in stride now is Stastny, and the pass for him flagged down and brought right back by Brooks Light. Light with a shot that is snagged and then paddled back into play just away from Light by Elliott. And then Steen. Young man looking for the hat trick. Second generation NHL player brought back ahead by Schwartz and delayed and nicely settles things down so that everybody can get in position. Stastny laid it on a cross. Guided on back to Steen. Fires, and that was a shot pass that was deflected out away by Stastny.
A nice attempt there from Alex Steen. A little shot pass with Stastny drifting away from Justin Peters and just got a little bit too much lift on that opportunity. You saw the reaction from Stastny knowing he really missed a good opportunity, but another heads-up play from Alex Steen.
And you go back to that trade originally drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was Carlo Koliakovo and Alex Steen for Lee Stepniak, who's now playing for the New York Rangers.
From this, it's off Carlson and swept onto the back for Pietrangelo to play it on. Close quarters, Ty Ratty was nearby. Gaskin working in, and stepping by with it is Carlson. The Ovechkin minor penalty has 54 seconds to go, 55 in the period. Delaying and now throwing it ahead was Pietrangelo. Oshie lost it, but right conveniently there was Steen. Run into it by a couple of caps, and a third one. Ward played it along but couldn't get by. Oshie in the way, coming by as Ward this time, and he secures it to center. Thrown back across now for the turn by Ratty. From the Chicago Wolves, one of the top scorers on their team and in their league, the American Hockey League. Oh, wiping out there was Carlson. Meanwhile, the puck taken by Oshie. Oshie drifting. Then a try. Oh, and a great save made by Peters after the first ricocheted off the defense.
Yeah, John Carlson just loses an edge here. And the Blues almost make him pay. Carlson's coming in. He just loses an edge. The forecheck from Ratty. Great support there from Oshie. Tries to go back door. Weak side to the opposite side. The puck comes right back to him, and that's a huge stop from Peters.
Excellent play, creativity, and as Eddie just said, nice save by Peters. The one thing they're really trying to work on with Justin Peters, talking to the goaltending coach here in Washington, Mitch Korn, rebound control. As much as Brian Elliott has improved, they want Peters to be a lot better here for the Capitals.
Well, on the first one, he made 2 stops before Steen scored.
Yep.
On the second one, or on the third one, he made 1. But he didn't have anyone around him, so I guess he's supposed to grab those and drop them over the boards. Brought ahead now by Steen, and offside is called.
You got to get your reps in games too. I mean, we know that
right.
Braden Holtby's, the Iron Man when it comes to tending goal for Barry Trotz and the Washington Capitals. But you can practice all you want. I don't care what player it is, what level it is that there's nothing like playing in games. And can see working on rebound control in practice, but it's really at another level and a different feel for the goaltender in game.
Penalty over. Period over. Blues have the lead 3-2 after 2. Stay tuned for the Discover Card intermission report. Catherine, Mike, and Keith from Super Bowl Central in Arizona. The Blues forge ahead without their stars, and the Predators up early on the Pens. In that period, Steen his second, Ovechkin his second, and Yashkin his fifth of the year breaks the tie yet again. Blues 3-2 after 2. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Beautiful times in Washington, D.C. Let's go back to olden times. Number 11 for the Blues, Brian Sutter. 12 seasons, most games played of anybody. Not only did he get overtime winning goals, he also wound up later coaching the team. For Washington, number 32, Dale Hunter. Rugged, 3,500 penalty minutes, 1,020 points, 19 years in the NHL, and he later wound up coaching the team. His number retired here.
Still doing a great job coaching the London Knights in the Ontario Hockey League. One of his disciples, John Carlson, on the ice right now for the Capitals.
A couple of physical players, speaking of physicality, 28-23 in favor of the Blues. 28 hits for the Blues, 16 of them between Steve Ott and Ryan Reeves.
Ott with 7, Reeves with 9. Alexander Ovechkin with 9 shots. It's third time this year he's had 9. He has had 10 once. Here's a shot by Tarasenko that is sealed up by Peters. Inside the glass, here's Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. Well, Eddie was just talking about the hits for Steve Ott, and here's a little example of its handiwork here this afternoon. Michael Latta meets Steve Ott, 2 guys from the Ontario Hockey League. Here he is again, great play shorthanded in the neutral zone. Down low, he gets his hands up and a stick up on Evgeny Kuznetsov, but he still battles. This is his kind of game. Eddie talked about it, we've shown it. Steve Ott loves these kinds of games.
Niskanen able to bring this ahead. Ladled back in again. Ovechkin and Backstrom are out there with Tom Wilson still. Wilson battling the boards. It's played back off by Schwartz, taken by Backstrom, tucked back over to Alzner. Alzner threw one, and that ricocheted off a skate. Can be played further by Stastny. Bothered by Backstrom, able to hand it on, and so Petrangelo's pass misfires, but is picked up by Bouwmeester and shuffled back to the corner where he got there. Rolled on along, and it's allowed to go for Petrangelo into the glove of Justin Peters.
I think what's happened here with the St. Louis Blues after losing last year to the Chicago Blackhawks in the playoffs is, I mean, I don't want to say a change in direction, but certainly the skill level, in talking to general manager Doug Armstrong, of bringing in a guy like Paul Stastny, the emergence of Vladimir Tarasenko, the emergence of Jaden Schwartz, the trade with Toronto to bring in Carl Gunnarsson, certainly a little bit away from more the rough and tumble type of Blues teams we've seen in the past. But when you keep that same mindset with the players that they do have, and then add that extra skill level and the emergence of young players, now all of a sudden you can play any way that you want. If the game dictates skill, they have the guys to play it. We've seen it from Steen. We talked about Tarasenko, but if you want to play the chip and chase, the rough and tough type of game, they have the guys to be able to do it. And I think Doug Armstrong has done an unbelievable job of adapting to to what they need, some of the weaknesses that they've had, and he's addressed that.
Blues able to play it back out, and it's Gunnarsson bringing it ahead. The ex-Maple Leaf gave it across to Ott, and offside is called. 1:31 gone in the third period.
Well, Steve Ott was a first-round pick. Eddie's talking about depth and the way they need to play. Steve Ott in 2000 was a 25th pick overall in the draft, so it's not like he can't play. He had 3 great years. He's just telling the guy, Wilson, I've had 100 goals and 100 fights, and he's right, and I'm ready to go anytime. And I'll sign my stick for you, too, and you can put it up in your bedroom.
That was a direct quote that Pierre got, and it was not invective laced or anything. It was just perfect. It is on back now for the control of Alsner, changing the subject off of Chimera and down on Elliott. Elliott reaches out and yanks it around behind, thrown all the way out and down. Go ahead, Pierre.
That was me, Doug. I don't know if did Wilson even have a chance to have a comeback there, Pierre, because it looked like it was just nonstop from Steve Hodge.
It's all one direction, yeah.
I guess the comeback will be when Tom Wilson gets a little more experience and learns a little bit is who signs for you. That would be the comeback.
Well, Wilson's only 20 years old. He turns 21 March 29th, so he's got a way to go still.
That is priceless.
You know the thing about Ott, just getting back to it, that's a fourth liner. Sorry, Doc. That play there by Chimera. That's a fourth liner. It was a first-round pick. He's a very, very talented kid. Talking about Ott.
It was Ott who used to, at faceoffs, he would look on the back of an opponent's jersey to say, "Who are you again?" Tarasenko had that one blocked down and then filtered back to the corner. And around behind, gliding with it is Ward. Good crossbody on him by Cole, who I think has had a strong game. Big shot by Carlson is grabbed off by Elliott. And play is stopped.
He's had a very good game, Ian Cole, Doc. I'd agree with you 100%.
17 of the players' fathers are on this trip. They were with them in Raleigh, where they won in a shootout. They are with them today, where they're leading in the third. And yesterday, the south lawn of the White House on a brilliant day. They all got their pictures taken. What a lifetime memory for all of them.
And the fathers wore the son's shirts, jerseys to the White House. The dark ones, sons wore their white ones. So kind of a neat thing. The Blues.
2 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Time. The Kings will be saluted at the White House. They're getting used to it by now. They know where most of the light switches are. Fed back across and banked around now for Carlson. Carlson nudged it on behind, and it's Orpik.
Eddie, don't they have to get their pedal on the metal now, talking about Los Angeles?
Played a pretty good game yesterday.
Wide with the shot, back out in front, chopped up high off Yaskin, and then he's taken to the boards. Schwartz a shot blocked down by Peters, looking for help, and it's blocked along now for Ovechkin. Ovechkin looking for his 10th shot on goal in the game. About 1 out of every 10 games he plays does he get that. That one directed to the glass by Alsner on the try from Pietrangelo.
He'll be armored. He had 8 yesterday against Montreal.
Extra ice bags after this game.
That's a hit by Oshie on Niskanen, who glared back at him.
It's northern Minnesota guys going after one another. Virginia versus War Road.
Carried right back and led out by Cole. Pitchfork back in by Jackman. Off of Niskanen, taken by Kuznetsov. 1 strike away from either a 2-goal lead or a tie game for the 3rd time. Forehand shot by Tarasenko, blocked aside by Peters.
That's the way to get off the schneid. Hasn't scored in 5 games, has 2 assists in that goalless streak, but take the puck right to the net.
Tarasenko with a nice pass along now for a backhander that is held by Peters from Steen.
Great shift there for Tarasenko, Oshie, and Steen. Beautiful pass. You don't want to be watching your pass there. A good hard hit from Troy Brouwer.
And there's TJ Oshie on Matty Niskanen. Both guys went in the same draft. A couple picks apart.
Koch is a 55% faceoff man. He was the leader in Pittsburgh when he left there. He comes in with being one of 2 or 3 guys that are around that for the St. Louis Blues. Lofted along by Wilson. Carried back along and in by Ott, and his shot shanked to the corner, and Hillen retrieves there. Lobbed around behind, and Gotch got in the way of that. Gotch swept it on back, held there by Cole, and lobbed around the boards, and it's Reeves after it. Ott doing pitch battle at the front with Wilson, and it is taken on by Green. Flown on to center, played ahead. Wilson and Ott are out on the same ice surface.
Ott's just left.
Meanwhile, this is nudged back over to Reeves and sailed off the glass. Well, he didn't have anybody to talk to when he came to the bench this time, did he?
No, he did not.
Wilson's still out. Now, maybe he'll have his chance with Latta coming to the bench there. Meanwhile, they burrow in into a side battle with 5:20 gone in the third of a 3-2 game. The St. Louis Blues on the road, seeking their 13th road win. Thrown in front by Orpik, and that shanked wide off of Pietrangelo. Carlson is ridden to the boards by Lindstrom, and then along to be taken by Ward. Nudged it on for Like to give it to the back, and then it's Orpik on a cross. Carlson shovels one that's well beyond the reach of Schwartz, taken along by Orpik, worked in and tied up by Ratty. Sent on back to the point again, and a drive by Like, ricocheted off Schwartz, and he gets back to his feet remarkably, is able to get as far as the bench coasting. Here's Fair, a shot, blocked off by Elliott, and the rebound dug out, but Elliott able to hang on and play a stop.
Boy, Fair had a chance to pass the puck to Alexander Ovechkin, who had just come off the bench, was wide open, and there you see Ovechkin talking to Fair. Wow, what a missed opportunity there. Well, there's Alexander Ovechkin. He's anticipating this pass to come from Eric Fair. Watch Ovechkin. Look at, he's tapping his stick. He wants it. He wants it. He doesn't get it. Good save from Elliott. Good chance. And you saw the reaction from Alexander Ovechkin right after in that scrum. After pushing and shoving there with Barrett Jackman, he was talking to Eric Fair, and I'm sure expressing he would have liked that puck. And why not, looking for the HT. Now I won here in the third.
Fair, just watch that replay you put up.
2-on-1, score! Tarasenko from Steen, it's 4-2.
And how quickly things change. A golden opportunity before the TV timeout. The play is not made. Now a face-off win. Pietrangelo gets it. TJ Oshie tips his puck off the boards, and now it's a 2-on-1. Steen over to Tarasenko. Beautiful execution.
No communication between Ovechkin and John Carlson. That's what opens up the 2-on-1, and a nice slurk from Steen, obviously, to Tarasenko, the left-hander, who gets it in the wheelhouse, and Pyle drives it by the goaltender Peters. But that was just miscommunication with Carlson and Ovechkin on the bench.
It almost seemed like Tarasenko shot that one back towards Peters. He had all that room on the short side, the same side he was on. And it looked like it just went through Peters, where you thought it might have went right by him because he was so far over to his right when he slid back to his left.
Oshie with 3 assists in the game now. Steen with 2 goals and an assist. Tarasenko has a goal and an assist. Presumably no scrap to come from this, as it did earlier in the year. But we never know, because there has been snarl between the two teams. I think the Blues would try to keep that guy away from any fighting majors. In this game, they have a 2-goal lead here with 13 minutes to go in the third, and play is stopped.
We're going to go back to the goal. The face-off win by the Blues. Now, as Pierre made mention, there is TJ Oshie, and you got Ovechkin there, and you got Carlson there. And Oshie just redirects this puck. And I don't know if Carlson's anticipating Ovechkin to come in behind and sort in behind the pinch there. If you're Carlson and you're going to be there, you either got to go and go completely on TJ Oshie or retreat and live to fight another day. You'd rather have a 3-on-2 than a 2-on-1. But two guys really in no man's land, and Oshie just had to redirect that puck.
Here comes Chimera. Save made by Elliott, and the rebound as well.
Well, Wilson are not behind the play, and Ott's probably going to try to goad him into something. Ott's not going to, I don't think, drop his gloves at this point, especially with a short-handed St. Louis Blues group. He's such a veteran guy.
It's actually good of Ott to provide us with statistical information that sometimes is not in the game notes.
Now you got Chimera and Ryan Reeves talking to one another, 2 guys from the Western Hockey League.
Ott with actually will correct him, but he was, he needed to be brief. 105 goals for Ott and over 100 fights. We can't document that, but there's more going on, as we can see there, Pierre.
Ryan Reeves just said, which side of the pillow would you like to sleep on after I beat you up?
Rolled around behind, it would be a very verbal Stanley Cup final, wouldn't it? Sent off the stick and then the glass as it's played along now by Ward. Nudged on, and it's fair. Both of these teams would be in if the playoffs began today. Both of these teams have a great chance to be closer to first place with a win. The Blues only 2 points behind Nashville, but Nashville currently leading in Pittsburgh 2-0.
I'm sorry, Doc. What's going on in Pittsburgh here?
Well, I think injuries, free agent defections, lots of different things. I mean, clearly they miss Orpik and Niskanen, and there's no question. No Olli Mata's a big problem. No Pascal Dupuis a big problem. You know, you go down the line and look at a lot of things. No Evgeny Malkin. And I think there's a lack of chemistry there right now, Eddie. I really do.
Lots of injuries and sickness early in the year, and they were able to overcome it at some point, and I guess it'll catch up with you. Right now, it is a battle for the Penguins.
At that, they are only still a point behind the New York Islanders. All teams are human, and everybody seems to be going through stretches of good and bad. Here's a shot that's blocked away. The Caps had a great stretch up until the middle of the month. Then only one win in the last 6. The Blues have been pretty consistent. In the early part of the year, there were a couple of struggles. That would have been life flashing in front of Ott for a moment, but not the first time that's happened to him. Blues were only winners of 2 of the first 6, then they won 7 in a row. They've had 9 wins in 12 and 9 wins in 10. So they've had some positive stretches.
Well, Steve Ott came over to Brooks Orpik on the line change and let him know, and that's a good job by Ryan Galloway. The line's been stepping in, and again, I cannot believe the amount of bad blood there is between these two teams. And this is what Doc was alluding to. There's a chop from Marcus Johansson out of Färjestad in Sweden, and Brooks Orpik had hot lined right up.
Yeah, that's a penalty too. I mean,
I agree.
Look, you want to let the players play, but the referees have to take control because now it's a 2-goal game. You got guys running around. You want to settle it down. You got to make sure that you call the right penalty, and that clearly was a slash that was not called.
It is Steen bringing it to head, looking for his third. Passed it on to Tarasenko, looking for his second. This has been the line that has done it mostly. Jaskin is the one who broke the tie most recently, and then enlarging on that with the goal was Tarasenko. Boy, Oshie has been remarkably physical today, too. It's not like we don't expect that, but he has been very fierce in this game. Pass lobbed ahead, and it is an icing call. Let's take a look at tonight's player profile presented by SAP, though technically still afternoon. Alexander Steen tied for 9th in goals, tied for 4th in assists. This is in the month of January, and 17 points, the same number as David Backes, and a +7 during that time.
Eddie, fair to say his father, one of the most underrated guys that ever played in the league?
I got a chance to play with him for a long time, and I don't think there's any doubt. Super strong, super skilled, and one of the greater human beings you ever want to be around. Thomas Steen.
Right back in is Ratty, and that one ricocheted to the corner so Green can get it. Then on to Chimera, punched aside, and Cole after. A lot of ice time for Ian Cole today, especially with the Shattenkirk injury back in the first period.
That's what you need. You need guys to step up, and Ian Cole has done that. Physical play, creating and generating offense.
Green shot, a stick saved by Elliott, and covered. Past the halfway point of period number 3. The Blues with a 2-goal lead.
I'm going to go back to that last goal by the Blues. Vladimir Tarasenko from our Mazda RoboCam. Look at Justin Peters. The pass from Steen to Tarasenko. Look at all that room, but watch where this puck goes. Tarasenko's going to shoot it, and he almost shoots it right in the center of the net instead of shooting short side. And one of those where I'm sure if you ask Peters after the game, it's one that he probably should have had and needed to have. Where that shot came from Tarasenko.
Flipped ahead now for Oshie, given across Pietrangelo. Tried once to return, then flung one, and a tough bouncer there for Steen to golf on goal. Feathered through to Tarasenko. What a pass, and a backhander that was shut off by Peters.
Beautiful play there from Steen to Tarasenko.
David Backes is probably watching this saying, hey, wait a second, I'm supposed to be on that line with Oshie and Steen.
Pretty magical. It was In Chicago earlier in this year, when Pierre's interview with Ken Hitchcock took a basketball turn. But these are globetrotter-like moves that we're seeing from this line for St. Louis now. Fed on now for Kuznetsov, and Kuznetsov handed it back to Orpik. Orpik tried for Kuznetsov, blocked out by Oshie, chased down by Tarasenko and Niskanen. Tarasenko able to drive his way along and then tangles up with Niskanen, and then to the corner, brushed along further.
I think to Pierre's point about David Backes being out of this game from that hit behind on Karl Alzner earlier in the game, it's an opportunity for Ken Hitchcock to be able to look and see and mix and match, as he told Pierre in that interview in the second period. We'll see what's going on down the road, or maybe need to change it up in game. You can go to a line, or you can go to a defensive pairing, or a forward unit that has had some success in the past. And trust me, coaches will go right back to situations like that for down the road, penalties or injuries, whatever it might be.
It is Backstrom bringing it ahead with Green breaking, and that one thrown wide, and a little wand came from Elliott on Green's shins. So it's Ovechkin looking for the hat trick and getting his team back to within one. That one skipped off Green in the glass, and then an attempt by Reeves to put Green into the third row, and he just got the turnbuckle. So along with this now, it's thrown across by Ovechkin, and then Green again. Green fed it back, held there by Alzner. Alzner lifted one, score!
Well, Mike Green had a chance to shoot the puck, but Steve Ott does a wonderful job there of buying some time. And you talk about traffic in front of the net. I mean, you got 6 bodies there, and Alzner just fires it as Elliott's going down. I don't know if it's ever directed or not, but it beats him, and it's a 1-goal game.
And it's a great job by Wilson to take all those cross-checks to the back and not go to the crease. But you're absolutely right. I mean, that's Karl Alzner with a seeing-eye shot.
With all the block shots today, Pierre, I'm surprised that the Blues standing in front of Brian Elliott, especially when a defenseman wristing the puck. There's some guys that can really drift it, but you don't want to get tied up. You don't want to get in a wrestling match, and you see coaches tell players they want them to front those shots, and I'm surprised nobody blocked that shot.
Like a shot that went wide on a feed from Fair. Jammed along by Ward. Off the referee's skates. Jabbed at again, and it popped up and along to get it is Cole. Couldn't touch it further. Protected there and taken around behind by Steen. Got it to Tarasenko. Whipped it onto Oshie, and Oshie was spaced. Nudges on for Steen. Denied by Carlson. Dragged on by Like, but then defended away by Tarasenko. And so Fair will drop back with under 7 minutes to go. Third period of play and a 1-goal game. Whacked out of the air by the high stick of Oshie, but played by the Caps, and so we will continue. Orpik's pass was blocked down by Stastny, carried on by Schwartz. Stastny a shot, and that's answered by Peters. Loose puck jammed in a lot of traffic. Jaskin a shot, and Peters had to stop that one.
No stick for Orpik in front of the net. Now he's got Chimera's.
Trying to get in the way of that was Ward. It's sent on to Jaskin now. Jaskin ridden off and then worked along by Orpik. Coming by to tip it further is Ward. The battle at the half boards. Walking out is Schwartz. Tried to feed it across it. Caromed off both Kuznetsov before it could clear back out off the stick of Carlson.
Good idea there from Schwartz, looking for Gunnarsson coming in.
Jaskin escapes, and there was a loose stick that turned out to be a held one for a moment, and then played back across away from Alzner. Rushed right back in by Pietrangelo, circling and playing it back further as Brouwer to Green. So Alzner, under 6 minutes to go. Laid one back down that goes for an icing.
Talk about physicality. Brooks Orpik turns the puck over, and the real good opportunity there from Schwartz. Stastny. A good save there from Peters.
Something must have happened in Sochi between Brooks Orpik and TJ Oshie, because they've been going at it all afternoon here. It's unbelievable how vicious it's been between the two of them, behind the play in particular.
If somebody had control of the remote control in Sochi.
Maybe. Did we have TV there?
Yeah, we had TVs.
I'm glad they did. Thrown back along by Jackman. Led on back as they try for him, and then it's drubbed back in by Reeves. Around behind. It is taken by Ott. Shoved off by Green. Ott right back on him, but Green scaled one that's perfectly to be knocked down by Brouwer. Little trouble for Jackman, flipped it out of play. Jackman with 772 Blues games. Just 7 away from Brian Sutter for all time. His team's ahead by 1. His Sunday night at the Mall is tonight on NBC, live in Glendale, Arizona. Full day leading up to the start of the game. The New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl 49, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, only on NBC. Who do you like?
I like the Pats 27-17.
Gare?
Patriots. They didn't have a number on it, though, like Eddie.
Like with a shot, follow-up, Carlson. Oh, and what a save made by Elliott. Wow.
Well, one of the many graduates in the National Hockey League from the United States Hockey League, John Carlson, who played for the Indianapolis Ice, gets a great chance here. Tries to go top shelf, but Elliott, great positioning out on top of the blue paint. Makes a huge save to keep this a 1-goal lead for his team.
Did he ever? Another guy off the Indianapolis Ice went to Michigan State, playing for the Boston Bruins now. Torrey Krug, pretty good player.
Elliott peers out at this faceoff that will involve Backstrom. Got Ovechkin to his left, but it's yanked between the point men, so Carlson must play, and his team must at center.
The Blues must be aware of the aggressive style of the Capitals defense. They're trying to keep pucks and plays alive. You got to have your head on a swivel if you're a forward for the Blues. Here's Carlson right there.
Ricocheted off a leg, went wide. The challenge from Niskanen, pumped back in. Ovechkin there, rolled off the hit from Pietrangelo. Ovechkin gliding to the outside. Spun one that went off Wilson and wide. Backstrom along for Wilson. Wilson in the way, and now it is brought on by Backstrom and then brushed onto the back. Grabbed off there and held by Mike Green. Feathered it through Wilson, popped on near Backstrom, but carried back up by Schwartz. Drops it in, comes to the bench for an obedient change. 4 1/4 to go here in the third. 39 shots for the Blues. 34 for the Capitals. Back in it comes now for Ian Cole. Then Gunnarsson. And floated out of play.
Eddie, you were talking about that point. That was Jaden Schwartz that got walked by John Carlson. He didn't pay attention to his in-zone coverage responsibility. You nailed it.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where, as a forward in your own zone, especially a winger, if you're a left winger, you're responsible for the right defenseman. And on that play was Schwartz against Carlson, and the play just kind of developed perfectly. Where the puck was rotating high, Carlson shot in, and good recovery by the Blues in their own zone. And that's another way to generate offensive opportunities, by getting your defenseman involved.
Gunnarsson goes back. Reaching in was Fair. The duel continues. Kicked along near Fair by Ward. But it is Oshie, but it is Green, though he could not stop. Green guides it across. Alsner with it there. Alsner connects on now to Ward. Little over 3.5 to go as Alsner fires it back in. Around it curled near Steen. Protects it pretty well. Able to sashay away from the reach of Ward, but it came back to Green. Rolled around behind Gunnarsson. Ties up there with Ward. Reaching in now is Cole. Trying to play it further, and Reeves able to chip it on and one-handed across for Oshie. Oshie with Ryan Reeves moving to the front. Took the hit that he knew was coming from Alsner. Meanwhile, the battle around behind with a little over 3 to go. Rolling off of that is Reeves. Got it back to Pietrangelo. Fired it through Reeves, and around it curled over to Ott. Steve Ott banked it behind, away from the reach of Gotch. Protected by Wilson. Swung back out. Caps in the midst of a change. Ovechkin quickly back out there as a forechecker, as this is Pietrangelo with 2 3/4 to go here in the third. Ian Cole fed one that went all the way back down, and there is an icing that comes from that.
Blue lines become so important when you're trying to protect the lead in any league. Pucks at your blue line have to exit the zone. They have to get out. And when you get to the far blue line, attacking blue line, pucks must get in deep.
Ken Hitchcock, smart timeout right there off the icing. Marcel Gottsch just coming over from Pittsburgh. I'm sure they're going to go over all the assignments. He's a very good face-off player, as Doc talked about, winning over 55% of his face-offs in Pittsburgh before he came here. But I'm sure Ken Hitchcock, besides the fatigue factor, makes sure his role players like Reeves and Ott are comfortable in this situation, Eddie.
Responsibilities. One face-off, lost face-off. The same thing on the Capitals end as well, offensively. Well, this is really one of the times you can have, and only times that you can really have set plays in the game of hockey. Yeah, you can have looks and you can have schemes, but off a face-off, everybody knows exactly what the other team and where they're going to be on the ice. And if you win it, then you can run those sets and know what the other guy's going to do before he does it.
Eddie and Doc, what would Patrick Roy do? Would he pull the goalie with 2:41?
Might be a little early.
What a face-off win by Gottsch.
And it is icing. And so back it will come once more.
And this is why they went out and got this player. I mean, he's low maintenance, he's popular in the room, and he wins this draw clean from Nick Backstrom. Great job by Marcel Gottsch.
Same two guys in the shooting hole as Ovechkin. They tried to get it to him, but interceding was Ott, and so it's thrown back out to center, under 2.5 to go. Niskanen's pass was shanked loose off of Cole, played back over for Ovechkin, and backhanded to the corner. Niskanen kicked it along. It's forced on back, and Backstrom covering there. Has Ovechkin near the side of the net. It's thrown there, and that blocked aside off of Elliott. Pumped along by Carlson. Stepping to this now is Bouwmeester. He's got some room, and Bouwmeester played ahead to Oshie, and Oshie is able to backhand it along. Comes back to Cole once more, and they can fan it out, but he decides to drop it up for the whack back in by Steen.
Another good play from Ian Cole, not trying to force it through the middle of the ice. Safe up the boards.
Agreed. He's had a really strong afternoon.
Ovechkin delays, throws one, and it ricocheted off a blue stick and had to be tended by Elliott. Down behind the net is Ward, moving back up with it now is Steen. He's got Oshie breaking through it across, and it's shanked off his stick. Swept along now to Steen in front. Tarasenko getting a piece of it was Peters. Under 90 to go. Blues still with offensive zone possession. It's Steen turning. Watched by Carlson near the end of a shift for these guys. Tarasenko tried to finesse it through, and then Steen comes by. Steen rifled it back, and Jackman will drop back to center, and the Caps can get a change up front. 1:05 left to go. Played safely back by Steen. Rifled back ahead and directed back in smartly by Schwartz. Around behind to get it is Peters. Of course, he can't come off just yet, but now he is charging to the bench for the extra attacker. Pitch back in again by Brooks Laich. Burrowing in now is Ward. Tangles up there with Bouwmeester, and out of a big scrum, reaching in was Fair. Still, they plummet along the boards with their sticks, trying to get something free. It's Niskanen turning. Wants to force the point, can't do it yet. Ovechkin came by, kept it alive for a moment. Then it's whacked along further, and then sailed all the way back down. 25 to go, no icing as Green turns. Schwartz right on him. Jammed along by Green, and then thrown wide by Jaskin. Taken further by Brouwer, 15 to go. Ward fires it back in. It swirls to the Ovechkin side. Put some lumber there on Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo delaying, reaching in, and challenges Niskanen. Flip back off for Schwartz, and Schwartz is able to clear it back down, and all the way to the end. That's it. The longest streak for this Blues franchise in 15 years. 11 games without a 60-minute loss. 10-0-1 in that time. Final score in the game, the St. Louis Blues 4, the Washington Capitals 3. In just a moment, Pierre Maguire will have an interview with one of the stars of the game. But first, let's check in with Catherine Tappan for NHL Overtime.